When Freud was 4 years old, his family moved to Vienna, a town where he lived and would work for most of the remainder of his life. He received his medical degree in 1881 and became engaged to Mary the following year. His marriage produced 6 children, of whom the youngest, Anna, was to herself become a distinguished psychoanalyst. After graduation, Freud set up his own private practice and began treating various psychological disorders. He considered himself first and foremost a scientist, rather than a doctor, in his endeavor to understand the journey of human knowledge and experience. Early in his career, Freud became greatly influenced by the work of his friend and colleague Joseph Brauer, who had discovered that when a hysterical patient could talk uninhibitedly about the earliest occurrences of symptoms, the symptoms sometimes gradually abated. Inspired by this, Freud posited that neuroses had their origins in deeply traumatic experiences that had occurred in the patient's past. He believed that the original occurrences had been hidden from the consciousness. His treatment was to empower his patients to recall the experience and bring it to the consciousness, resulting in the patient confronting their issue. He believed one could then rid themselves of the symptoms. Freud and Brauer published their findings in Studies in Hysteria in 1895. Brauer and Freud ended their relationship due to Freud's obsession with putting emphasis on sexual origins of a patient's neuroses, and his unwillingness to consider other viewpoints. Freud then began a period of self-analysis, followed by his publication of The Interpretation of Dreams, The Psychopathology of Everyday Life in 1901, and 3 essays on the theory of sexuality in 1905. In 1909, he was invited to give a series of lectures in the United States. It was after these visits and the publication of his book in 1916, 5 Lectures on Psychoanalysis, that his fame grew exponentially. Before this, many felt like Brauer, that he put too much emphasis on the origins of sexuality. By the beginning of the 1920s, Freud's writing had given rise to several associates of psychoanalysis. However, Freud himself took part half-heartedly in the movement, due to his oral cancer and a series of operations he had completed on his mouth. In 1921, he published Group Psychology and the Analysis of the Ego, in 1927, The Future of an Illusion, and in 1929, Civilization and Its Discontents, all of which dealt with large cultural issues. Freud did not, however, become all that famous in his lifetime. His work, in fact, was known in English in a relatively complete edition before it was in German. And though Freud's work is not really taken very seriously today, he played an important role in how we view the mind and the behavior of people. Most of Freud's theories are not taken seriously because they cannot be proven, but they aid many in understanding the human mind and in beginning to approach solutions to psychological disorders.